Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman Arkham City Batman. This new line of 3 3/4 inch figures. I've actually just started reaching retail. Spot picked up all 4 of them actually. On the side of the package, there's a picture of Batman from Arkham City. Actually, it kind of looks more like Arkham Asylum Batman, but I don't know. Spot really hasn't played a lot of Batman Arkham City or Asylum, really, for that matter. Down below, there's Batman. Down below. And on the back, DC Multiverse, excuse me. The 3 other figures that you can pick up, though they're not listed here. They just give their numbers. There's also Bane, Mr. Freeze, and Azrael. Of course, warning, small parts may be generated. Not recommended for ages 0 to 3. Actually, no read-up either, which is surprising. There's absolutely no read-up. Just some warnings and what have you. Figures may not stand as shown, each sold separately, subject to availability, right there as well. What I am going to do is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, having a look at Batman, he unfortunately doesn't come with any display stand whatsoever, nor does he even come with accessories. Despite the fact that he has an open hand, Batman comes with nothing other than what you're seeing right here. And what you're seeing right here, if you ask me, slightly bit of a mess going on here. He's an awkward-looking figure. And Spot picked up really all 4 of them because I wanted to have a look and wanted certainly to bring to you guys the new line of figures that are coming out. But I got to say, Batman really has disappointed me. It's not to say that I really like the design of Batman from Arkham Asylum, or really Arkham City for that matter, but I really liked the DC Collectibles version, the 6-inch version that I've already had a look at. This particular Batman just has elements to it that I didn't really like about the original Mattel figures, the Mattel line of Arkham City, Arkham Asylum figures. They've just taken it and just made a smaller version of him, and I still think it just doesn't work. I think one of my biggest gripes is probably the head. For starters, the head is really small, and I would say really long as well. I don't know why it's so long. Even when you take the ears off, it seems like Batman has a really long head. The gripes that I had with the Mattel version of Batman, again, really carry over to this figure. The bat emblem isn't bad, but it seems like it's just really big. Proportionately, I would say the majority of the figure is just awkward. Like the torso section just seems really, really big versus his head. His head seems like it should be bigger, but perhaps maybe not as long, if that makes any sense. His arms, kind of big, yet his legs, kind of small. He's almost got like a gorilla thing going on, where his arms, though again proportioned correctly, just seem to make his legs look really short and stumpy. I don't know if it's because his lower legs aren't long enough. Maybe they should be like to about there. But something about this figure just doesn't jive for me. His cape isn't bad. It's a pliable plastic. The coloring isn't bad. The coloring of his utility belt works. That kind of tan brown color. The details in his gauntlets work as well, and details in his boots work as well. However, one thing I really want to bring to your attention is the fact that not only does he have these long, flipper-like feet, he has no articulation to speak of in the lower foot section. Certainly, you can still bend the knee, and you can rotate at the lower thigh section. But like the feet, because they don't have articulation, the figure can stand, but you can't really, all this additional articulation, you can't do anything with it because he always has to be flat-footed. If they had only found a way to put some sort of swivel in the leg, in the foot section, you could have done a little bit more with Batman here. In the way of his articulation, by the way, he does have a swivel. It seems to be only a swivel in the head. I would believe that it would be on a ball joint, but you can't move the head up and down. It's really only left and right. He has a hinge in the shoulders, which is nice. I have no complaints at all with that. He does have a bend in the elbow, but you can't really bend it too much because his gauntlet obviously hinders, kind of stops right around there. He has a swivel in the hand, which surprises me considering he has no bend anything in the foot. No torso crunch, but he does have a swivel in the waist. And then he does have the DC Universe Classics articulation in the, at least in the section of his legs, where his legs hinge out, and then they go forward and back. He has a rotation in the thigh, like I said, a bend at the knee, and no swivel from what I can see in the boot. So really from the knee down, Batman is staction. I would say I don't want to think that I'm just being biased towards it because I just didn't like what Mattel did with the initial Batman Arkham Asylum figures, that to get a smaller version of him, I'm not digging it. But there's something that just does not work for me for this figure. I feel like his torso is almost too big for his lower legs, and the head continues to bother me as something that is just, from my taste at least, is not definitely one of my favorite of Batman sculpts. Details aren't bad, and I guess really if you're looking for a smaller scale version of the Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City figures, perhaps you might want to pick this up. But for me, I would say it's a bit of a pass. For that reason, I'm only going to give Batman here a 6.5. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new Batman line of figures. I hope definitely the other figures, the other figures do look a lot better than Batman. I think Batman definitely is the weakest. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have the reviews of the other three heading your way. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.